Okay, so first and foremost, thank you for all being here for today on this Friday. I know you guys are very busy, but I greatly appreciate it. So my presentation is on technology resources, and that's based off of what you guys sent back in that needs survey. I know with distance learning and starting off that way with the school year, it's a panic mode of, okay, how do we incorporate different technology skills and what can I do to help reach those students that are either completely distance learning or half and half, if they're half in class, half not in class. So I came up with a couple of different resources that would help those students and help us as teachers of what can I do to reach those students either on Zoom, in class, you know, rotating if they're switching out every now and again, and how do I keep organization with those new skills. So, why technology? Well, as we all have seen this year, education is moving towards technology and it's growing more and more year by year. But with this year especially, we were just kind of tossed into that, and I know that you guys have found different resources too that have been really helpful with your classroom. Sherry being 100% distance learning, not anymore, but we greatly appreciate you. And so I just want you to think about it for a second. What different technology resources have you used? And that could be Zoom, different video resources, or different online tools for interaction, collaboration. What have we used in PLCs? Things like that. I just want you to think about it for a second, and then I'm going to have you turn and talk to your partner. But think about it. What different things have you used in previous years, and what's new this year that you have enjoyed using in your own classroom? So just think about it for a second. Yeah, we'll start counting from here. Let our students come up with at least 3. If you don't have 3, that's okay. We'll talk about it. Okay, and turn and talk to your partner either directly behind you or side by side. You can work in 3s. Just turn and talk to your partner. What are different things? You're good.
I found Seesaw that I would use Backchat. It's a way of the spreadsheet.
Forms.
The forms. Forms. Yeah, forms. Lots of forms. And that's what we So I did clever and chit chat. Yeah, you just send messages back and forth because then it'll tell you that you have a new message from a student. And so I did a lot of that through the but here and then when I started doing all those sheets things, because then you don't have to write cuts down on everything, so you're answering these questions in collaboration. That's up to you, because the pictures and stuff like that.
I don't like those.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Anybody have anything that they tried new this year that they haven't tried before?
Pasco was saying something really cool about being able to chat.
Oh, through the Clever portal, you can chat with all your kids through the Clever portal. They
Yeah.
leave messages and they message you and you message them back, and it's like immediate.
Right.
Because there was one night, I was having a full blown conversation with one of my kids at 7 o'clock at night.
Right. Yeah, so that's good for collaboration, getting their information out. Did anybody else try anything new?
Hairdeck. Hairdecks is awesome.
Mhm.
And then it has a lot of, well, you can just watch everybody doing everything at once.
Right, right. Good,
And
awesome.
then she had something.
I use something called Backchat, which is
Oh.
like a little communication. It's like another texting program, but
Mhm.
it's in a very controlled session.
Yeah.
And I just used it at the very beginning of the year when we really didn't have any kids, and I was trying to find ways to connect with them,
Right.
and they did connect with me.
Right, right. So, good, awesome. So a lot of collaboration tools, a lot of intermixing, trying to get our kids to be able to talk to each other, us to talk to them, because we teach 3rd grade, so it's a little trickier with communication. It's not like we can just instantly text them and have them get back to us as soon as possible. So this is just a rationale for a job performance. So when we do different professional developments, it just helps us grow as an educator, right? So the more we practice our skills, the more we can take our things that we learn and then pass that on to our students as well. So when we receive those professional developments, those are for my technology-based programs to implement in the classroom. We've all taken professional development together on technology implementation. And then you guys were given a survey at the beginning, and our highest one was technology-based, which is great because distance learning, it's really helpful to have those different tools to use. So one of the ones that I really liked using this year was Seesaw. How many of you have used Seesaw before? Kind of a little bit, yeah. So Seesaw is a great tool to use for the classroom. The nice thing about it is you can become creative and make something on your own that you want for your specific classroom, or somebody else has already created it. So I know, for example, for me, I needed help with multiplication strategies. My kids, I was doing that on distance learning on Zoom, and that was tricky to teach them via Zoom. So Seesaw was a great tool, and you can write back on their assignments too, so it's almost immediate feedback, and then they can go back, if you turn in their assignment, they can go back and fix it. So it gives them a chance to correct mistakes if they had any, and for you to give them feedback on how they did on that project. And then from there you can communicate. You can communicate with their parents, you know, so-and-so didn't do this assignment, and again, that can be however you communicate with your parents, but it's just another way to stay in contact throughout the year. And then Google Classroom. So I really loved using Google Classroom this year with being distance learning. So you can upload your rosters into Google Classroom, and that way all of your kids are on there. You can post assignments on your Google Classroom. They complete the assignment and it's right in there, and it saves them, and you can even grade them on Google Classroom, so that's really helpful too. And you can communicate. So students that really didn't understand something, they can post on your wall. And so that was super helpful too with communication tools. And then and Google also has different tools such as Google Docs, slides, sheets, and forms, which Mrs. Maddock, I know you said you used a lot of Google Forms. Do you want to talk
Yeah,
about
a
it?
lot of our assessments ended up being a Google form, all of our math tests, for
Yeah.
example. So every math quiz and math test, I had to create a Google form for it, so they can
Right. And the nice thing about Google Form too is which is what I used when you guys did the survey, it creates a chart for you, so you can visually see, okay, this is the highest need, this is what, you know, we're doing fine at, or what we need improvement on. That's a main thing that I really like about forms, is it visually shows you, okay, you can see automatically how they're doing, and it's that instant feedback too. A couple more distance learning. So we had Zoom was a great communication tool, so we could see our students, because as you guys know, it's not only hearing them, we need to see them. They need to see us as well too. And we could get our whole classroom on Zoom, which was very nice. And then Think Central was a great tool for English language arts, and that's really helpful too, because students can not only see their story online, so if they didn't have their physical book, they misplaced it for whatever reason that day, you can post that onto direct to your Google Classroom, and then you can either hear the story, it can read it to them, which is great for EL students, or just students that need that extra support. They can listen to it or read it on their own for your higher kids who don't need that auditory tool. And then Lexia is great for comprehension, and students are motivated because they can earn those rewards, and they want to make sure that they get that next award and keep going, and that's really helpful for the higher kids too. Moving over Zoom a little bit, I'm gonna keep going just for sake of time. Think Central, so I took a screenshot of, I'm just gonna go over that quick too. Think Central, you can have your assignments posted. The nice thing too is if there's a kid who either was on isolation or quarantine, you can reopen the assignment that was posted and and the student can work at their own pace with trying to get that in, unless you make it in a timely fashion. And then Lexia, same thing. It's designed to help students practice their reading comprehension skills. Students can read short passages and then answer questions. There's different characters that students really seem to like, and class removing from that. So with one of the tools that we are going to do is in your Google Drive, we are going to create a folder that says summer planning because we're all going to summer planning. So I want you to open up your drive and then we will create a Google Drive folder and then